Hey guys, welcome to Rainbow Cookie podcast for the LGBTQ. Um, with me during this one is Iris. Say hi.
Hi.
Did I pronounce your name right? I don't know how to say your last name too.
My stage name is Graves, so we'll just go with that. Iris
Okay,
Graves.
I was just making sure that was what I was wondering. Um, awesome, awesome. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
I was so excited when you said yes because you are actually the person who um kind of made me do this.
Yeah?
Basically, yeah. You remember when you did that thing where you were trying to basically prove that there's more people than just that there's more to us than just our gender and
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that after that, I kind of had the idea to do a podcast about that, to kind of just like get to know people who are LGBTQ than just
Oh my
their
goodness.
more than just to because there's more than just their gender, their whoever they're attracted to. And I thought it would be awesome to do a podcast based on that. So you are basically the person who springboarded this whole idea.
I'm so honored. Like that's really special.
So that's why I was like so excited when you said yes.
So, would you like me to like formally introduce myself?
You can if you want. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm Iris, 30 years old, transgender woman, pronoun she her, uh a queer sexuality, that type of thing. Get that out of the way so we can talk about everything else.
so
but
I so you actually met me came across my TikTok first, right?
I believe so. Yes.
And then I followed you after you followed me. Um,
Right.
so let's start with this. You like cooking, don't you?
I
Cooking and
love to
baking and
cook.
that type of stuff. So do I. What's your favorite things
Yeah,
to
you
cook?
said you did culinary school, correct?
Yeah, I did culinary school. I graduated most likely to succeed. It was a very small class too. We were supposed to have like 16 people in the class, and like by the end of it, only like 5 people were left. So
Wow. So, were you doing that during quarantine? What did culinary school look like during quarantine? If
um,
you were doing.
it wasn't actually quarantine. It was during like 20, I think 2016, 2017.
Oh, okay.
And then I had an externship in a restaurant in New York City called Maialino's, an Italian restaurant, and it was awesome there.
Oh my goodness. That sounds fancier than any restaurant I've ever stepped foot in.
Literally,
If it's any fancier than an Olive Garden, I swear I don't feel like I belong.
um, like literally the most fanciest like Italian restaurant by me is Olive Garden. So like I had to go to New York City over like an hour and a half away from where I live.
Oh my
Just
goodness, that commute must have been brutal.
yeah, it cost like $42 to round trip like every day. So it was
So what do you
expensive.
have? How many hours do you have to work before you like had paid for your gas?
I like 500.
Oh my goodness.
Like I had to work like no, actually it was like a 50 no, it was like a 500-hour like course, and then I had to do it for like about like 250 hours for
Oh my
the
goodness.
externship. So it was awesome.
The things we'll do for our passions.
The reason why
So,
I brought that up because
okay.
I saw you you do like cooking streams sometimes. I've noticed that, especially breakfasts. I jumped on one of those.
Oh yeah, I love to cook and I love to cook for people.
Yeah.
But I never seen that as a viable career option for me just because like I'm I'm I have some pretty radical ideas when it comes to food and whatnot.
Okay.
Um but yeah, I love feeding people. And before quarantine, I would purposely make too much food, and then I'd throw it on my Facebook, who's hungry in the area, and then bring people over, have a meal with them, and then just chat.
Oh, that's awesome. Have you ever thought about doing catering?
I haven't, just because of like the budget that I'm on.
Yeah.
It's very small times. But those small interactions are really, really special to me. I mean, if I had the means, then I absolutely would.
Yeah. Um, Anything in particular that you like to cook?
Oh, I love to cook new things for the first time. I love the challenge of it. Um, but right now, my favorite thing that I've cooked so far is gnocchi. Like I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I'd blow up to the size of a house, but I could eat gnocchi every day.
uh, I think the favorite thing that I ever cooked was a Guinness pulled pork mac and cheese,
Oh,
and it was
all of those words
awesome.
put together just equal something that is firing synapses in my brain that's making my mouth drool a little bit.
It was so good. It was awesome.
Oh, it sounds like it. I I'm kind of in a food desert too, so that's a bit of an issue on getting good fresh ingredients. So I've got
Yeah.
to like travel. I've got to travel about 50 miles to get like a decent grocer.
Damn.
Um, yeah, that's the Midwest for you. By the way, can are we cursing on here?
We can curse, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not. I curse a lot, so I'm not stopping anybody.
Okay.
Um, for me, there's like 3 or 4 grocery stores like in the area, so like I can choose like whatever I want. But to get like real like organic food, there's no really anything in the area.
Mm. It's such a bummer because like overseas they have so many options and it seems like they're so densely packed that it's a necessity, but we're so spread out here in America that it's um one or two companies will have a monopoly on an area, and then if they don't see the demand in organic or ingredients, they're not going to stock them.
Yeah.
I need to get to a city. That's my goal. I'm out here in the cornfields, and it's no fun.
I live close enough where I can go to New York City anytime I want, but it's kind of like expensive to go there by myself. So
Yeah.
I I want to get, so that's why like I don't kind of like work in New York City. I want to get like closer to like maybe like somewhere in New Jersey.
Mm. I'm the thought of a metropolis kind of blows my country girl mind. I've been to Chicago twice in my entire life, and that's the biggest place that I've ever been. And just imagining New York City, I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be terrified.
New York
uh,
City is like awesome the first time you see it, but like it kind of like gets a bit like dull after a while.
yeah, I am sure it's a grass is always greener on the other side type deal. And
Yeah.
then once you're on that side, it's just like, oh no. So besides painting, like, or not paint, cooking, sorry. Besides cooking, like, what are some of your other passions? I'm curious.
So I like cooking. I like video games, like streaming and content creation. Um, and then I like reading comic books.
Oh, I never ventured into the comic book scene, but video games is definitely an old passion of mine. It's hard to find a spot for it these days, but
Yeah, I've seen
I would still consider myself a gamer.
I've seen you stream sometimes early in the mornings or like late at night on
Yeah.
in your Discord.
Oh, you're part of the Discord?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know you had joined up. Wow. Yeah, I can't seem to bring myself to play more than like 15 to 30 minutes at a time now. Um, I was a gamer my whole life. And then um, right around the time that I came out, my computer died. I had a CPU failure and it fried my motherboard at the same time.
Oh wow.
So I was a year and a half without a computer, and during that year and a half, like I was beginning medical transition and um, just drastically changing as a person to find out who the new person is, and gaming wasn't part of that. So now that like I was finally able to afford to get new components and get my computer up and going, gaming kind of makes me a little anxious. It's very strange. I think part of me like associates that with the before times,
Yeah.
but it's there's a lot of feelings wrapped up in that. But I mean, I still play Overwatch with buddies every I think every other day.
Overwatch is a game that I've tried. I like it, but like I just can't get good at it.
It's I've resigned myself to the fact that I'm always going to be mediocre at it, but I can still have fun with a game I'm mediocre at.
Yeah. Anybody can, especially if you're playing with like friends. There's like a lot of games that can be just like boring by yourself.
Yeah. Before my computer failed, I was like playing by myself a lot, and now I've got like a squad of like it's almost always 4 to 6 people so in a full team, playing, and it's just like we get on a voice chat and start screaming at each other. I love it.
That's awesome. The last time I've ever played Overwatch with a full team was when we were it was me and my friends. We were kind of like bored, so we decided to hop on and be like every single character. So like everyone was the
Mhm.
same exact character. And so when everybody died, then we just switched characters and it was like so much fun to do. But like
That sounds like a whole lot of fun.
it was, but like I haven't like taken the game like serious in like a long time.
Yeah. I'm the only game that I can remember taking like super seriously was Halo. Halo was my jam from like 2007 to 2011. I was Halo, eat, breathe, sleep Halo, and I wanted to be that MLG pro. I actually was part of this clan, this group, this clan on there that called ourselves the Duckley Deviants, and we'd quack at our enemies in the post game lobby.
Oh, that's awesome. Me and my friend Sam Shadow play have been playing a lot of a game called Black Desert Online.
I've
So
heard of that. Yeah.
yeah, so there's this thing that you can like do to like make like a message board and like chat, so like people can see like what you're saying. It's kind of like in front of your face, and sometimes we'll
Mhm.
just like screw around with that and while we're waiting for like stuff to do.
Mhm.
And so like
Hey.
once we tried to like make a song, but like we were hoping so, but like it was just me and him, so like we couldn't finish it on there, so like we were hoping somebody would like know what song we were talking about.
I love collaborations like that. Like I've seen a few on TikTok where somebody will actually get through all the lyrics of a song in the comment section before somebody like ruins it.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
So, how did your gaming like start? How early of an age were you gaming from?
I started gaming at like a young age. I had a PlayStation 1, was my first one, and then
Hold on. I gotta ask, how old are you, by the way, Kayla?
26.
Okay. I'm not much older. I was like, oh, first system PlayStation 1. I'm like, oh no, I'm old. My first was the original Nintendo. I had like Duck Hunt
Oh, that's awesome.
with like the little plastic gun that you could shoot the ducks, kinda, sorta. But it was Duck Hunt plus Mario Brothers.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Um,
Yeah.
I've never played Duck Hunt, and I still haven't played the original Mario Brothers game. I
What?
Yeah, I have like, even though I have like a Switch and stuff like that, I can probably do it through like a Nintendo Plus, I think it's called. Um,
Yeah.
I
I mean,
can
there's also like emulators too, just online if you have a
true,
computer.
true. I
I
think
don't
what
even think you need. I think it's some of it you could probably find it hosted on some website.
somebody's definitely doing that somewhere.
Yeah,
Um,
and Nintendo is mad. they they are fanny frustrated. They're a little butthurt.
um, and then I got a PSP, which I used a lot when I was a kid. And
Hmm.
then I moved to Wii, then Wii U, because like I was like so fascinated with that. And then I built my own computer, and in like 2018, like everything's like pretty old now. So
Let's talk specs. I love computer building too. I want to hear about the guts of your computer.
so the CPU is a 5820K from Intel. So
Hmm.
like 2013 era CPU, and then my graphics card is a 1080.
Ooh. I mean, we have the same graphics card on that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Um, how much RAM have you got?
Just 16.
Okay, SSD.
120 megabyte gigabytes. It is
Okay, is that
very
in dot two?
yeah, no, just that. It is like very small, but then I have like a 10 terabyte external hard drive that I use for like my recordings and stuff and all my games.
Right. I'm impressed. I love computers and I love building them,
Yeah,
even
me
though it
too.
is wildly frustrating sometimes.
Definitely.
Um, I had built a computer for somebody a few months back, and it took us a month and a half because we kept on having to return we returned the motherboard twice before we decided to go with a different motherboard because it just came out the first time it was fried.
Oh,
The
dang.
second time, it did. It just like I think we tried to flash the BIOS, um, and it did not work. It would not take in a new BIOS. And then the third one came in fried. So I was just like, no, we're done with this. We're done with this plan. We're going with something else. So I
That
think
sucks.
we're going with like an MSI board. I'm like, sweetie, pay the extra money for a board we know that's going to be decent.
Yeah. I was lucky.
But
I paid like $200 for like an X99 Tai Chi motherboard from ASRock.
mm,
So like I could have probably paid more money for like a better one, but like I just didn't want to like. I was just like having like so much of a budget that I was like, I've already spent so much money on the graphics card and the CPU, so like I kind of cheaped out on everything else.
yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta figure out where you want to put your money.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it gets wildly expensive. I kind of when I built this thing because I built this thing in I think it was 2016. I spent too much money on it to kind of like hopefully future proof it. I had like I don't remember the exact model, but it was an i7 8 core Intel CPU. It was like a really I think it was a Rampage 5 motherboard and all this snazzy stuff. And then like I had a 980 Ti at the time.
Oh wow.
Um, and it burnt out on me and I sent it back. They sent me a 1080.
Damn, that was lucky. Welcome back.
Oh, okay. I was like, "Oh no, we lost it." But yeah, I've got a 1080 in it. I've got I think it's a 250 SSD, 16 gigs of RAM, 3 terabyte hard drive, and right now when I rebuilt it, I put the Ryzen 7 3800X
Oh,
CPU
that's
in it.
awesome.
Yeah, I love computers, but
Yeah, me too.
like I said, wildly frustrating sometimes.
I actually wasn't able. I meant to put like my first computer together by itself, but like by myself, and like I was not able to. I had to hand it over to like someone who did it for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the scene, I'm sure you watch Linus, right?
Oh yeah, Linus Tech Tips,
Oh yeah. So like,
Jay's Two Cents, those channels.
yeah, yeah. So I had studied before I went to build this thing. I had studied for about a month on like before I pulled the trigger on any of the components, and like I was watching videos every day, and I'm just like, I think I got this. I think I've got it. Um, and I had a buddy that helped me because he was a little learned in it. I mean, he hadn't built a system in years, but he was like, "Yeah, I'll help out." And I think it was a 3-hour process of us just fumbling around trying to figure it out. Even with all that research, it can be complicated. You run
Yeah,
into things that you don't foresee. Um, but yeah, I'm happy with the system that I have now, even though it's you know it's a blessing and a curse.
yeah,
This computer building addiction.
it is. Like, my mom was like, "Well, at least you got a hobby. Might be an expensive hobby, but at least you got a hobby."
I I would love to find some type of job doing it like full time. Like that'd be really cool. Even
Yeah,
though
that would
like
be
it's like
awesome.
I said frustrating. I like the challenge of it. I like things that like I'm not immediately good at. Um that's it adds a little bit of spice to life that I feel like is missing if I just skate on through doing only the things that I'm good at.
Definitely.
Like I'm just now trying to get back into fitness again. That I was so into it last year before quarantine, and it was kind of an unhealthy place where I was doing like 4 to 6 hours of working out every day.
Oh wow.
Then yeah, quarantine happened and depression hit, and I ended up I was in a place where I hadn't worked out in months, and I'm like gaining weight, and I'm like, oh no, I gotta do something. And so now I'm trying to get back into that, and it's hard. Getting back on the saddle is difficult.
Definitely. Like I try to work out too, but like my motivation only gets me to like a half hour, and then I have to like just like force myself through the rest.
Yeah, and that's okay. 30 minutes is still better than nothing.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to be very patient with myself and my body, and just say, you do what you can, and that's okay. Because it's so easy for my self-destructive brain to be very cruel and attack any amount of progress that I do make, and then that doesn't serve me in the end.
Yeah.
I've got to actually you know get through that. But so far so good.
That's awesome. Um, I just kind of want to bring up a few things from your TikTok because I've realized that you like writing stories.
Oh yeah.
Have you
Well,
ever
kind of.
have you ever planned on like writing like a full novel or something or?
Well, with my writing, I'm very much in the nonfiction field. I When I write, it's very analytical. Whether that's I'm analyzing the world around me or analyzing my own emotions, I can articulate myself very clearly on how I'm feeling about a thing. When it comes to fiction, that is definitely a lot harder for me, and I don't consider myself a super imaginative person. Um, but that's also probably me being hypercritical of myself. I could probably do it if I sat down and did it, but the process of doing it is where the problem lies. So I don't know if a novel's in the works, but I may start a blog.
That would be awesome.
I don't even know where you host a blog these days. Like, is
I
it still WordPress?
I remember. Well, WordPress definitely still exists. There's also Tumblr. That still exists. There's
People still use
blog.
Tumblr?
Yeah, there's
Oh my goodness.
there's Blogspot that I put one
Oh,
when I was like 2013. So like I was like very
no.
young.
I'm always worried about like pouring my guts out on the page and then posting it publicly and then nobody reading it. So, I guess it's different with a video format because I just vomit out garbo on TikTok all the time. And some of it's good, some of it's not, but I just don't seem to care as much. It's not as personal as my
Yeah,
writing.
that's awesome.
Um, what was that?
I said that's awesome.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought you said that's also, and I'm like, oh, also what? But TikTok has given me an outlet for my makeup, and that is, I think that out of everything that I've found, that is something that I could see myself doing every single day as a career. Like I love makeup. I love everything about it.
I've actually
And
dabbled in makeup a little bit, but like not enough for me to like be confident with actually doing it at all or
yeah,
like showing people that I'm doing it. So,
sweetie, I will tell you this. There is no such thing as failing in makeup. Every failure is a lesson. And if you ever want to show me like some of your makeup looks, I will we can talk about it. I can, help you with anything you want to do in that. Because here's the deal is like when I was looking at makeup initially, it was very intimidating
yeah.
because every cis female that I had interacted with was like, well, they didn't say this out loud, but it was very much the notion of, well, we've had 12 years of experience on you. You're just gonna have to deal with being bad at it for a while. And I really hated the idea that somebody could be that cruel. And so like I finally met somebody who took me under their wing. They were absolutely wonderful, and they made makeup fun for me. And I think that keeping it fun is the key. As long as you're having a good time doing it, it doesn't matter how bad you are at it. Um, it's gonna be cathartic in your ability to express yourself through your canvas.
That's awesome. Like I've tried to like do something from like some YouTube channels, like nothing like too advanced yet. Um
Hmm.
really just like five things. And the last time I did it I kind of looked orange. So
I'll tell you this much. YouTube never helped me. I find YouTube tutorials very long-winded and boring, and I don't have the attention to sit through somebody telling me about their day while they do their makeup. And I just want like here's how you do this, this, and this. And I
yeah.
couldn't find that. So a lot of my learning has just been winging it.
Well, that's nice to know. That's definitely gonna help. Like, cause like I've been like afraid of like playing with it, cause like I don't know what to do with it, especially like eyeliner and stuff like that. Um, cause like I don't want to look like weird. So like knowing that it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we can absolutely sit down and do like a one-on-one video chat, and I can just walk through a full face of makeup with you. And maybe that, for the people that I've done that before they said it was beneficial. I mean, I'm not going to be a judge of that. Maybe it'll help, maybe it won't.
That would be
um
awesome.
yeah, I'd be down for that. That'd be cool.
Thank you.
Because especially other trans women, like I wanna help you express yourself like I'm able to. Like it's something that makes me feel really euphoric, and
Yeah.
that's that's really special. That's a something I want to be able to give to everybody in our community that wants it. You know.
Yeah. You recently started to do paddleballing for trans rights, right?
Oh yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing with that. I saw a friend of mine, well, I mean, multiple people doing this every day for this cause or whatever. And I'm good at paddleballing. I love to paddleball. I'll sit here and do it all day. So I was like, well, why not do that and then bring awareness to trans issues? So I kind of like the idea was like, let me just do this and see the reception of it. And also just throw in the caption, maybe just like a little tidbit of information that I would want a cis person to know about our community. Um, that was the concept behind it. It is my least performing videos. Like they barely break 100 views. But you know what? I'm committed at this point. Maybe if I can get to 30 days of paddle balling, I'll be happy, and then I might retire it.
I
But
think it's
I'm
awesome.
stubborn.
So am I. I really don't let like
Um,
views control what I post. If I feel like I want to post something, then I'll post it, regardless of whether I think people will like it or not.
right.
Cause like I don't do it as like a full time job or anything. So like I'm just kind of like letting
It's
everybody
so hard
know.
to do that anyway. Like
Yeah.
I'm in the creators fund, and I get more money from like people donating the like lives gifts than I do the TikTok creator fund. And it just doesn't I might be able to pay for my laundry money this week. That's about it. I'm not like quitting my day job. Even though I kind of treat it like that. Like I love creating. I love the process of putting content out because of the response of the people that really enjoy it.
Yeah, me too.
Um, because if it's resonating with like even one person, it's worth it. I've had people reach out and say just some of the nicest things to me that like my content of me just being silly on the internet is helping them feel less alone. And how can I stop?
Yeah.
Um, for long periods. I mean, I do take breaks, but I really just want to be able to be as helpful as I possibly can and leave this world slightly better than I found it. Even if it's a small, tiny smidge. Um, we're trying to push social paradigms with paddle balls.
I think that's awesome.
um, but yeah, I'm not only doing that. Like I've got my talk show that I'm trying to do 3 to 4 nights a week. I'd love to have you on that too if you'd be interested in
Yeah,
calling in on
definitely.
that.
Definitely.
But that came about because I was watching another live with a comedian that I follow, and she had people call in to get roasted, and I'm like, I'm too nice. I couldn't roast somebody if I tried. My little Midwestern heart is just too um too pure. Can't be mean. Only to perps and bigots. But so I was like, hey, let me just start reaching out to these big creators that I admire and see if they want to come on my show and chat with me. Um, and I have been super overwhelmed with the response. Like I have gotten to talk to people that like I never would have dreamed that they would have said yes, and I I feel lucky in that. And that's why when you reached out to me about this, I was like, absolutely, of course I'm gonna come on
I
your
was actually
podcast.
like so excited that you like responded too, because like I was like, she's not gonna respond. I don't know why I'm trying. I was nervous.
I I'm very responsive to any interaction on TikTok. I respond to every message that I get, and I try to like every comment. I think there's only like 2 or 3 videos that I haven't liked every single comment.
Yeah,
It's a little obsessive, I guess, but like I feel like if people take the time to reach out to me, I can't ignore that.
yeah, definitely. I kind of
So,
like I kind of try to do the same thing unless they're like hate comments, and then I just kind of ignore them.
oh yeah, I will delete and block every hate comment that I get. And, I'm sure you know how it is over there. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty frequent. Um those things can I mean, I don't have the time for haters. I really don't. Early
Yeah.
on in it, like I think my first big video that hit was people just bullying me. And that could have like stopped my whole TikTok career right then and there. But I refuse to do that. I mean, I look at it like this: like I can sit and argue with somebody that I will never meet, who never has paid me a dime, who is probably a very sad individual on their own,
Yeah.
or I can ignore them and get my revenge in being a wonderful light of positivity for everybody else while they can stay mad in their mom's basement. Because here's the deal is anybody who's trying to tear you down is already below you.
Yep.
Um they are a part of my French. They're all a bit of doo-doo farts. um But yeah. And then I see other creators on the platform where that's their MO. Like they'll just sit and they'll make video after video arguing with these people like they're going to change their opinion, like they're going to do something revolutionary, but that performs. Like
Yeah.
I don't they're in this cycle where they're subjecting themselves to the hate just for views and just for engagement. And I feel bad for like even like younger people in our community, because it's like when you're older you're gonna realize how much time you wasted on that, and time is the only commodity we have. Like please do yourself a favor and don't engage.
It's not worth it.
Not even a little bit. Not even. I just I can't imagine. See, I came out at 28. I can't imagine dealing with the internet and gender identity at 16, 17 years old and having these people screaming at me. I'd probably make bad decisions. I'm not going to fault them on that. But at the same time, oh, my heart. I want to save everybody. And, um I know that I can't save people from themselves,
Yeah.
unfortunately. All I can do is lead by example.
Which is awesome. I think you do a very good job of that.
Thank you. I'm trying my best. I don't know much, but I know how to try hard and believe in myself.
Anything you think you want to talk about before we end it?
um, Goodness. As soon as you ask that, it's seriously head empty, no thoughts. Where is my
Yeah.
brain? Where is my mind?
Mine does the same thing too. Like I have all these ideas of what to bring up, and then just blank.
Well, I just wanted to say that, like, it is an honor that you thought of me to come onto your podcast. And, like, even though we haven't really talked much, like, I consider you a friend, and
Oh, that's awesome.
um,
Thank you.
feel free to message me anytime for anything you need. Let's do the makeups one on one. And yeah, thank you.
Definitely. Um. All right. Well, guys, thank you for watching. Um. I'll leave her links down in my description, and I hope you guys liked it. Have a nice night.